Admittedly, this is not my first time installing a motor mount lift. I've actually had this exact same kit on my Jeep for years. Just a few years back, I also removed the kit because I was making some changes, but now it's time to add it back. So, welcome back, friends. This time, we're going to install a motor mount lift. Now, motor mount lifts do have their place in the off-roading world. A lot of people think, just like belly up skids or body lifts, that, well, you just don't need them. And that's not exactly true. It depends on how you're building your rig and what you're trying to accomplish. Me, I'm trying to put a belly up skid on my rig, or actually I already did it, and if you want to look at that video, take a look here. And with that, I now need to move the engine up because the engine is kind of sitting down like this, the whole drivetrain actually. So I need to accommodate the lift of the belly skid, the belly up skid, or the tummy tuck, by pushing the motor up like that. To accomplish this, we use a set of 1-inch blocks. Now there's a few ways you can do this. You could just get mounts, extended mounts, and replace your whole mount. They typically use a harder material in there instead of the factory rubber. I'm personally a fan of the factory engine mounts because they're nice and supple and keep the vibrations down to a minimum. So we're going to reuse those and just use a regular block. Now the motor mount kit I like to go with is JKS. It's very simple, 2 blocks, and then you also get some bolts and washers, and you also get an extension. Pretty common to remove this engine mount actually, because your long bolt that goes through your engine mount tends to run into your AC compressor. There we go, got it. Yeah. Whew. Okay, let me show you how these work. So you have your engine mount, right? And you have your block, and your block goes under here and raises your engine up. But the problem is, this stud, see that stud you have to extend, so they give you this extender, right, and you can screw it on here, but the problem happens when you go to screw it on all the way. You can see that there's going to be like a 1/4 inch or so thread of showing, 1/4 inch of the thread showing, so we actually have to cut these down a little bit so that thread's in all the way. And then what you'll do is you'll put these on, and that'll fit snug in there like that and give you a nice secure connection. Also, you'll see that that won't sit flush. There are 2 common reasons why you install a motor mount lift. One, as we talked about, you're installing a belly up skid. So to do that, you have to match that with the engine, right? The whole drivetrain has to move up. The second reason is that you have a really bad driveline angle in the rear for whatever reason. Sometimes just installs have that, right? So to fix that, you install a motor mount lift in the front that picks up the front engine just a bit, but dramatically changes that rear output angle of the transfer case. Sometimes it's enough that when you do that, your alignment, your drive shaft comes into alignment and your vibrations are solved. Other times, it's just enough to bring it down so that when you make that rear pinion angle adjustment, everything comes into spec and your vibrations are mostly solved. So if you notice, the pinion angle is still off. We're gonna have to adjust it, but it's gotten better since we picked the front of the motor up. It actually pivots this down a little bit, helps you out when you're doing a belly up skid like this. Ooh, that was scary. Yeah, I'm fine.
What happened?
The hood fell. Note to self, close the hood before you do that. That scared the crap out of me. Do a quick drive, see how it runs. Now we did all that work to it. I'll tell you one thing. If you guys didn't know this, I did a transmission swap on my Jeep, so I'm running an AX15. Already, an AX15 and an 06 TJ is kind of rough, just because of, well, there's a lot of electronics and things that go on, but the hole in the floor is different between like 03 to 06 and below. And actually, by doing a belly up skid to this degree that I did, because it pulls it up so tight, it actually kind of recentered the transmission for me. So I'm not gonna have to do anything with the boot now. Yeah, it seems to drive fine. Don't hear any weird noises, don't feel any strange vibrations, so that's good. So the thing drives really nice, actually. I'm very shocked. We were able to get that rear pinion angle dialed in really, really well. No vibrations that I can detect so far. I do need to go back in there and retorque everything once more, only because I'm a very imperfect person, but I like things to be perfect, really. So I do things twice, which is kind of why the suspension has been done twice. This is the second time I put the motor mount on, motor mount lift. This is the second time putting the belly up skid on. Yeah, a lot of seconds going on here, but I think the rig it's turning out to be really interesting, right? I have a 2.5-inch lift on 33s, but I have a very severe belly up skid, which is really nice. It gives me lots of clearance down there. The 1-inch motor mount helps straighten everything out, keep things where they should be as far as driveline goes. The 1-inch body lift gives me a lot of clearance in there. And then the next thing we need to do for clearance is lift up the rear gas tank skid. And we'll talk about that in a future video. So with that, guys, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Subscribe if you like what's going on the channel. Like if you liked this video. I have a lot more coming on, well, a lot more videos coming to the channel with this kind of stuff. As the garage gets more and more set up, we can go and tackle bigger and bigger projects. And there are some big changes coming to the Jeep, and yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm really excited for it. So go ahead, get subscribed, and we'll see you in the next video.